Hi, fans. I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and we are on episode 65 of the airflow and pressure differential comparison of 120 millimeter fans. We are getting close to the end. I think I have, well, aside from these five that are sitting over here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10, 15 more fans to go. Yes! I mean, until I get more fans that come in anyways. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, we're getting close to that point, and I'm excited. Another one there. So then I can move on to the 140s, and I'm going to do the 160s and the 180s and the 200s, and then I'll go down to the little babies. Or maybe I'll start with the little babies. You tell me which way I should go. Should I start with the smaller fans first, or should I go to the bigger fans first? I'd love to hear from you, actually. Sorry, I'm stressed out. I'd love to see in the comments your suggestion as to whether I should go with the smaller fans first, since I've already done one comparison for 80 millimeter fans, or if I should go for the larger fans first. Yeah, please put your opinion, your request in comments. Okay, so as always, this is my airflow meter, also known as an anemometer. It has 4 decimal places for the area setting, and that means that unfortunately there's not enough accuracy, because even though I've calibrated it against the Noctua A12x25, that missing decimal place prevents me from getting perfect accuracy. I don't have a job. I'm almost out of money. I have no way of getting something better, let alone paying my rent for next month. Yeah, okay. I got all that aside. The good news is that despite the distortion that occurs eventually as the numbers get larger, I don't know when or how much of a distortion there is. I'm not a mathematician, so I can't correct for it or even figure it out. But I can say that the numbers are consistent in the distortion. The bigger the number, the bigger the distortion for airflow, I mean. And so I can still rank the fans on airflow. Now, a guy I know from Norway, you may see him in the comments every once in a while on this channel, Norchris. He asked me a question, and he can be a little bit of Captain Obvious sometimes. When I do my airflow test, I do an open air test because, quite frankly, I can't afford to spend any money on testing equipment to put that air column into a confined space. And even if I could, the act of putting it into a confined space causes a decrease because of laminar flow. Look it up if you don't know what it means. I'm not going to explain it here. But basically, it's friction of the air against the tube and air against the air. All right, so these are the fans that we're going to look at today. I have the UKCOCO minor fan DF12-02512 B2H. And unfortunately, the light caught this, so you can't really see this in the image that I took of the 5 fans. I've also got the Rocketfish RF-120 fan, which unfortunately Rocketfish no longer exists, and this is a used fan, so for what it's worth, it's used. I also have the Cryo-PC LED Series 120 millimeter green LED case fan CPC-120LEDGN, or something like that. It's a long name. And unfortunately, when I received it, it was defective. And even though the company that this is from is in the US, I asked them, can you please send me a replacement, they declined. I also said, if you want to send me any other fans for me to review, I'll be happy to do that. They declined that also. Then again, other companies have also declined. So, but this is probably one of the only companies that has refused to replace a defective fan, if not the only. I also have the Jin Hetian or Golden Field, and this is the MH ACF-120. And finally, until SilverStone sends me more 120s, which they don't seem to have much more to send anyways for 120s. This is probably the last SilverStone. This is the 18 RGB LED FW123-RGB. I thought I had reviewed this months ago after they sent it to me. So Tony, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I never previewed this fan. The preview for this is going out with this comparison. But yeah, thanks to Tony for sending me all those fans and the monitorizer, and I've got a couple other things, and he's going to send me their Slim AIO after I'm done with these fans. So I'm pretty psyched about that. Just wish I had a job. Right. So what I'm going to do now, as always, is I'm going to put the RPM results up on the screen so that you'll be able to see them and evaluate them and try to learn from them, as well as I want you to please look at pictures of the fans, look at the distance side to side between the blades, also look at the blade design, the frame design, the diameter of the hub, and other things like the bearings that might help you to understand the fan better. And then I want you to, in the comments, put your guesses as to which will be the worst and which will be the best for airflow and which will be the worst and the best for pressure differential. And save it. Don't change it, please. This is not a competition. You're not going to win or lose anything if you don't guess right. It's not easy to guess right, which is why one of the reasons, my primary motivation with this channel has always been to help the public to make better decisions about fans and coolers and stuff like that. But yeah, if you don't test, it's hard to know. And so with the small number of defective fans that I've got, where companies I can't contact them, I've contacted them and they don't respond positively about replacing a defective fan, or more often than not, they're out of business. Yeah, it is what it is. There's not much I can do about it, especially since I don't have money to buy more of the defective fans, which is very frustrating for me personally, because I don't want to present data based on defective fans. Yeah, sadly. So here it is. And as you can see, the Cryo-PC is the slowest fan at only 920, even though it's rated at 1200. Again, Cryo-PC declined to send me a replacement. Rocketfish, rated at 1200, came in at 1330. Golden Field, rated at 1200, came in at 1410. SilverStone, rated at 1800, came in at 1860. And the UKCOCO, rated at 3000, came in at 3031.3. A lot of times there's not anything after the decimal, because most of the time I can get the RPMs off of the fan controller that I use for the testing, but some fans, for one reason or another, don't, and the fan controller don't communicate well with each other, and then I have to manually test using laser tachometer to get the RPMs, and then that's when I get those decimal point results. All right. So I'll just put these back up here because they were trying to fall down on me. I don't want to be crushed by tiny fans, because that would be laughable. So go ahead, pause, put your guesses in the comments, and we'll continue to the airflow results. It's not to replace the defective fan. It's on them, not me. 99.6 CMH, which is actually really bad. That's low. The Rocketfish, 137.4, obviously. Wait a second. I've got those two out of order. Sorry about that. The Golden Field is in fourth place at 118.8. The Rocketfish is above average at 137.4. And the SilverStone is much better than that at 168.6. But the UKCOCO, which I haven't touched the UKCOCO for such a long time, I completely forgot what its performance was like. So when I did this test, I was like, oh man, and it was like, a little bit wild. So 288 CMHs. That's really impressive. That's definitely going to put the UKCOCO in the bottom quartile for airflow. Although it's not going to be putting it against the giants in the where there are 300 CMHs or higher, but it's still impressive, very impressive. So let's take a look at pressure differential. I don't know how you did on your guesses, but okay, this is really annoying. I'm having some, and I apologize. This is my fault. I have a medical condition that is causing me to have some problems, and so I think I've sorted, and I forget that I haven't sorted, and so hold on, and I'll fix it. Okay, so I really wish Cryo-PC had been willing to send me a replacement, but it's on them that they refused to do so, even though I was a fan that I just bought at the time. 99.6 CMHs. That's on you, Cryo-PC. Golden Field, 118.8. Both of them are below average, but yeah, the Golden Field is obviously better. Rocketfish, 137.4, which puts it at above average status. The SilverStone, definitely better at 168.6, but the UKCOCO is excellent at 288. I forgot how strong that minor fan is. All right, let's see how we can do with the pressure differential. Again, Cryo-PC was weak at 63. Golden Field barely beat it out at 64. Not a significant difference. Rocketfish at 69, barely significant. SilverStone at 75, a little bit better. But the UKCOCO, again, showed how great it is at 87, putting it in the top, or the fourth quartile, the best quartile. So let's see how these fans stack up against the other 300 plus fans in the list. Okay, so we can see, because again, another damaged fan. In fact, I'm going to mark this so I don't forget. Okay. In the first quartile, Cryo-PC, we should see the Golden Field and Rocketfish. Yep, they're also in the first quartile. The second quartile has got the SilverStone. Third quartile, nothing. In the fourth quartile has got the UKCOCO. So, yeah, nothing surprising there. And keep in mind, RPMs are not the final arbiter of specs. Depending on how well you design your fan, you can actually make a fan, the RPMs help more or less. Like if you are talking about noise levels, you'd want the RPMs to influence noise less, so you'd make changes appropriately. All right, I'm going to rearrange this on pressure differential. Righto. Now, let's see what we've got here. Nothing. Oh, wait, we do. We have the Cryo-PC and the Golden Field in the first quartile. In the second quartile, we have the Rocketfish. In the third quartile, the SilverStone. And in the last quartile, the UKCOCO. Right, putting it in, what place is this? What is that? What is that, like 15 or so? That's pretty darn good. I mean, and it's tied with these fans. So, it's a 5-way tie there. So not bad at all. Now, we'll try looking at airflow this time. Right. Cryo-PC, obviously, in the first quartile with the Golden Field and the Rocketfish. And then in the second quartile, the SilverStone. And in the fourth quartile, the UKCOCO. Again, doing really, really well. A little bit lower on the chart this time. But, it's got stiff competition there with these fans over 300, 400, 500. But still within the top 20 or so. So I'm going to slide this over so you can see all three fields, columns. Well, 5 columns, really, if you're interested in the minimums. And maybe you're looking for a really high performance airflow fan, which is great for exhaust. It's also got high static pressure, which is the next the thing to the left of pressure differential. Those are the specs, anyways. Then you have a fan that will be good for intake as well as exhaust. If it only has high static pressure, then it's only good for intake. Really, it's not going to be very effective on exhaust. Right. So I'm going to go through this slowly, and you can take a look, and maybe you're trying to find patterns. Maybe you're trying to understand why fans perform the way they do. I suggest you also look at other information about the fans that you're interested in. If you're looking at a particular fan and you want to see how it ranks on this list, now that could be useful for you. It may tell you whether it's worth the money. When we get down into around 120 or 125 or so, that's where the fans cease to be exceptional or even above average, and for the airflow. So I don't recommend anything below that personally, unless it's a high static pressure fan, in which case, yeah, but I haven't done the static pressure tests yet, obviously. Okay, almost done. There we go. And we are at the end of another episode. Obviously, you can come back tomorrow and find out what you're going to get to learn about tomorrow. I'm going to try to include these GS Kohler FB120BKs in there tomorrow. And I've got a few more left over that I also want to try to fit in. And then I've got to do a bunch of reviews to be able to finish up. I've got a Cooler Master, I've got Asia Horse, I've got some GDS time, and what is this? I've got an Ice Gale thermal or Iceberg thermal. It's the Ice Gale, the regular Ice Gale, which I thought I had reviewed also. And I've got a Guian Jing, and I think I've got and this is a Sotop and Wathai. So yeah, it's there's plenty more to see for the 120s, but we're getting close to it. I mean, I think by the end of next next weekend, we should be done with the 120s until I do have more coming in. I found an interesting looking one today on the donor site. And so we'll see that in the near future, I guess. I'm so happy to almost be done with the 120s, to be quite honest. I'm looking forward to getting on to the other sizes. Again, in the comments, please put whether you prefer me to work on the smaller than 120 fans first or the larger than 120 fans first after I'm done with the 120s. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow again, and have a great day.
I need to ask for your help. Things have been challenging. Whose life hasn't been challenging lately? So if you can please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications, that would be really, really super. Also, if you'd like to help me financially and you can't afford to, you can do a super thanks on my Glenn's Fast Reviews channel, or you can become a member there. Or if you prefer, you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII and become a member there instead. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Bleeping Computer for their support of my channel. If you need resources for computers, for getting rid of malware and learning about cybersecurity and stuff, Bleeping Computer, BLEEPING computer.com is a great resource. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.